A catastrophic implosion. That's how the Coast Guard is describing the Titan disaster. They believe the mini-sub blew apart as it descended down to the wreck of the Titanic Sunday, killing the 5 men on board instantly.
Everyone, if you're new to my station, I am the Hebrew Widow, the Hebrew Rose of Jericho, coming at you with some judgment news. All praises to the Almighty, sublime, most magical one, the creator of all things, and the master of the day of judgment that invited us, Starseed United, and allies of Starseed United, to the most holy place where he have casted judgment upon this earth. You know, he invited us to these courts. And we have went, and we have taken formidable enemies. And on new moon, as you know, if you new to my station, you might not know, but we do battle. We do battle on this station, and the Most High have shown us a most magical place that we call the courts of the Most High. And during our last new moon time in the courts of the Most High, there was a prophecy that was channeled in that message. The powers that be on a high level that has kept the magic going are a sinking ship. They're the Titanic right now. They're about to go down, and there's nothing they can do about it. This was an undeniable, specific prophecy about this submersible that gained worldwide attention after the prophecy. Okay, you guys, this is a very important message because there was the prophecy that went out that happened in the news the next day. As a matter of fact, we might have been, I was working on that video for 2 days while this was going on, and I knew that I had to upload it on new moon because that's when the portals were open, and I knew that that was a very important mission because Elon Musk had put out an invitation for those who wanted to apply for a VP of witches, and we knew he was connected to Ron DeSantis, and it's all about our awakening. You wonder why this one little submersible got worldwide attention, okay? Because we went to the courts of the Most High, and we are dealing with principalities, powers, and spiritual wickedness in high places, okay? And so when Mother really channeled that message through me, that this was going to happen, you know, and then the next day, boom, this gets worldwide attention. It's because the Most High is giving warning to our enemies, okay? Those of you listening in, you know exactly who we are, and you know exactly what's been happening as a result of us going to the courts of the Most High. You do know that we are connected to the 5D, and we're being answered by the Almighty, creator of all things and the master of the day of judgment. Okay, you've gotten stark warnings. You've gotten stark warnings. I did one where I showed y'all all of our allies, but you just won't quit because you decide that you want to take the wrong side, okay? So you got your warning, and you see what happened. Now this guy right here, the owner of the submersible, he was a big liar. He was a trickster, like Hashatan. He found ways around the rules and the laws, and he's in international waters. He didn't have he claimed to have NASA involved. They're saying, oh no, we weren't involved in this. Yeah, different ones that he said was involved in the construction of this submersible are saying, no, we weren't involved. We weren't a part. We weren't in partnership with him. So he lied. Now, there's something that happened that's very important for you to know, enemies of our souls. And that is Hashatan is a trickster and he's a liar. And some things he just have to tell you, okay? And in this instance, there was a disclosure before these other 4 souls entered into the submersible. Okay, submersible, I think that's how you say it. Yeah, the Most High have a old Hebrew Israelite widow to give this message with my eubonics and everything else because he wanted you to know exactly where this message is coming from. Now let's go back to the disclosure. It had death on it several times. Like you could suffer death. You could suffer mental illness. You could suffer injury. This and that could happen to you. And yet they signed the disclosure and they boarded it. Okay, because he had to tell them the consequences that what may happen if you board, and they did it anyway. After signing a disclosure that said that you might die if you go down here in the bottom of the ocean, they boarded, and not only did they board, but they were totally committed to it once they got in there because they were bolted from the outside. They bolted them in from the outside. It was no escape hatch. And there will not be an escape hatch during Judgment Day either. If you sign that disclosure with Hashatan to go against us, you will face judgment. You will end up in the belly of hell begging, and it will be too late. Yeah. See, this guy, he was such a liar until, he claimed that all of these, like NASA and different universities, were in partnership with him in the creation of this little contraption, which was nigger rigged. Oh, yeah, I'm going to say it, nigger rigged. And what I mean by that, I had an auntie. Her name was Aunt Bertha. How many of y'all have an Aunt Bertha out there? Honey, Aunt Bertha could fix anything. Anything, okay? It might have bobby pins and clothespins and wires and all kind of stuff that she used to fix it, but it would work. Well, he did this on this elite little, I call it elite. That's a joke. That's a joke. The way that they put this thing together was a joke. Okay, and he tricked people. He found loopholes and tricked them into that submersible, knowing the consequences and that they would be bolted in without a way of escape. And that's exactly what's going to happen on Judgment Day. And so that is your message. That's your message. You see the end of it. It imploded. Everybody went to the rescue. Why did all of these nations go to their rescue? Because we went to the courts of the Most High. And that went out when Mother made that announcement. It went out throughout the spirit realm, okay? That our enemies were going to be as the Titanic, and they were going to go down, and there would be no one to rescue them or to help them. And so we seen help coming from all over the place, from other continents. Everybody came to try to rescue them because this is a spiritual war, okay? And Gabriel was blowing his horn. Yeah, that's why it got the world's attention. I had no idea that this had happened when we went to the courts of the Most High. I don't think it had happened yet. I know it happened on the same day. It was new moon. And let me tell you about that experience, okay? And so I had gotten the information about Elon Musk putting out his invitation to hire a VP over witches. And I was like, whoa. And I know the Matrix magic because Mother has taught me and showed me how this Matrix magic works. So when Elon Musk put out his invitation to hire a high-ranking witch, yeah, and then knowing what happened in Africa with all of those sacrifices with that witch doctor, we had to address it in the courts of the Most High. And that is when the prophecy concerning this submersible came about. We were specifically invited to the courts of the Most High. And when that went out, the whole world knew about this and the whole world came to their rescue. Now, mind you, just last week, it was 700 immigrants that perished at sea. Yeah, where was the help for them? You see, this is all about magic. It's all about energy. When that went out, the whole world heard about it. See, it's a spiritual thing. So they wanted to help get them out of that judgment, honey. But there was no help for them. And there will be no help for you. Yeah, if you choose to sign that agreement with Hashatan to go against the Hebrew Israelites, they're going to lock you up in a contraption and there will be no escape. And that contraption is where judgment is going to take place for you. You will go into the depths of hell begging for mercy. And there will be no help and there will be no mercy for you. I know the Almighty One, he showed me where Poseidon was in that portal. He could have ordered Poseidon to bring them up to the top. But there's no escaping judgment. There's no escaping it. And so you're going to have to make up your mind. Are you going to board? Are you going to sign that disclosure? Now you know Hashatan is a liar. And even if you don't like this truth, you know that it is the truth. And so you got your stark warning again. How many warnings do you have to get? I know you guys listen in. You listening on everything anything got Hebrew on it. Y'all listening to it because of the synagogue of Satan. And you've seen what happened over and over again. And so now it's up to you to make your choice. You got your warning. And if you board with Satan and you sign that agreement with him, you deserve to go to the depths of hell and to be tormented and suffer. That's what you deserve. It's very little time left to repent. Okay? And if you know these truths and you see how powerful this is and you don't pass the message on because you want to take the synagogue of Satan, well, hey, that's up to you. You got your warning. The Most High always give warning before destruction.
David Pogue read a portion of it before he boarded the sub last year.
An experimental submersible vessel that has not been approved or certified by any regulatory body and could result in physical injury, disability, emotional trauma, or death.
And this reporter that just read the disclosure, after he read it, he boarded, he went on that tour. Yeah, he did it anyway, just like a lot of the other ones will. And so now you have your warning. Now I'd like to address my Starseed United. Congratulations, you mighty warriors out there. The power is in your hand. Have I got news for you? When we read this 8th chapter of Romans, you're going to hear it with your new ears. And I might interrupt from time to time as I go because it's very exciting, okay? I'm looking at these scriptures in a whole new way, in a whole new magical way. And I hope you see it too. And we know that God works all things together for the good of those that love him who are called according to his purpose. Listen to this. Very important. For those God foreknew. We didn't come from this dimension, Starseed. He also predestined to be conformed to the image of his Son. You hear me? Who's blacker than black. His image is talking about image here, not white Jesus. Not the one that looked like the captain of the Submersible. Yeah, we're conformed to his image. Okay? With the same blood, the same DNA flowing through our veins. So that he would be the firstborn among many brothers. Yes, he's our big brother. And those he predestined, we were predestined. We were predestined. Everything we went through in our lives, that's where all things work together for our good. They came against us with magic. They came against us to drain our energy or to bring low vibrations to us, to keep us always worried. And I'm not just talking about the enemies of our souls either. I'm talking about even within our families, we face challenges. All of it is going to work together for our good. Because we are called, okay? For those he predestined, he also called. Those he called, he also justified, honey. We are justified right now. Those he justified, he also glorified. And we are glorified right now because the Father is listening to us. We are connected to the 5D worlds. What then shall we say in response to these things? If Yahweh is for us, who can be against us? He who did not spare his own son, but gave him up for us all, how will he not also, along with him, freely give us all things? Who will bring any charge against God's elect? Who will bring any charge against God's elect with anti-Semitism? Who's going to do it? It is God who justifies, and that's what he's been doing. We have went to the courts of the Most High in his justice system. And he heard us, y'all. He heard us. We are justified. Who is there to condemn us? Synagogue of Satan? No. The U.S. government? No. The UN? No. There's nobody that can condemn us now. We already have been judged. For our Messiah, our big brother who died, and more than that was raised to life, is at the right hand of Yahweh. And he is interceding for us. He's at the Most High's right hand. We on the Most High's right hand too. Yeah, he stretched out his left hand for judgment. But we're on his right hand, starseed united. They can't condemn us. They can't throw us back into a Jacob's trouble. It's too late. It's too late. Who shall separate us from the love of Christ, the Messiah, our big brother? Shall troubles or distress or persecution or famine or nakedness or danger or sword? We have proved that those things have not separated us from the love of our big brother, because we have been persecuted. We have suffered lack. We have suffered danger just for being black. Just for being black, walking while black, drinking tea while black, walking down the street, changing a tire while black, anything while black, going in the store shopping while black. We have been persecuted, and it didn't separate us from the love of our Messiah. We held tightly on to the Messiah even before our awakening, because we were starseed then. Hallelujah. In us surviving in this matrix, we always held on to the Most High. And it was written. It says, as it is written, Our lives were always in the plan. We survived the test, and y'all, congratulations, starseed. For your sake, we face death all day long. We are considered as sheep to be slaughtered, and haven't that been us Hebrew Israelites? It's not our story anymore. It's not our story anymore, you guys. Because we're not citizens of this 3D dimension anymore. We are citizens of the 5D. On a special assignment for the Most High, because this is who you are. No, in all these things, we are more than conquerors through him who loved us. For I am convinced that neither death nor life, nor angels nor principalities, neither the present or the future, nor any powers, neither heights, depths, nor anything else in all creation will be able to separate us from the love of God that is in the Messiah, our big brother. We're at the point now, just like how they were locked in that little submersible. We're locked in now. We're locked in, honey. We are locked in the kingdom. We are totally committed. And our disclosure has life. Our disclosure has happiness. Our disclosure is taking us on a very magical journey that's about to take place. So Starseed United, I want to congratulate you. You made it to the other side. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. You made it to the other side. You see, it wasn't easy for a starseed. Job is a great example of that. Many of us were tested in this matrix because of who we are. And in the story of Job, it wasn't Hashatan that came up with that idea of testing. It was the Most High. He said, have you considered my servant, Job? He was perfect in his generations. And he was an upright man and eschewed evil. That's what the Most High knew about Job. And that's what the Most High knew about you. And so you were tested over and over. Some tests you might not have passed. And you took it over again and you passed it. You barely passed it, but you passed. And then one day you woke up. One day you woke up, starseed. And you repented. And you did that work. And you were judged for it. And now it's our turn, just like the story of Job, our brother Job. We're about to be rewarded. Judgment is coming to our enemies, and judgment is coming for us. And with judgment is justice, and that's when the scales will be balanced. And so for all of those hard times and tests that you had, and you still held on to the Most High and wouldn't let anything separate you from his love, you were granted a position as a starseed in the kingdom, the most glorious kingdom of love and light. Congratulations. That's what I have for you guys today. I hope that you gleaned more energy, just a beautiful energy from this message. I know that I've received energy. Yes, I'm raring to go, honey. Yes, I'm raring to go. I hope you're raring to go too. Hallelujah. I'm very excited about this assignment. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for your support of this station and your gifts of love. They're really appreciated. And may the Most High bless them 100-fold for whatever your heart's desire. Okay, you guys, your big sister, the Hebrew Widow, the Hebrew Rose of Jericho out. Until the next magical show, Shalom!